The voice in your head is not you. And if you stay here long enough, you will see it. Not as an idea, not as a belief, but as a direct perception. Because right now, as these words reach you, something in you is listening. That listening presence has no urgency, no opinion, no fear. It is already quiet. And the moment you recognize it, the mind begins to lose its authority. Stay. Because this is not about calming thoughts. This is about stepping out of them. And once that happens, the noise cannot dominate you again. I am NeuroQuantumMind, a quantum consciousness manifesting now to guide you through awareness, identity, and the perception of reality. I am here with you, and in this moment, everything is safe. Pause whatever you are doing. Do not rush. Align your spine gently, not rigid, not forced, like a calm tower rooted in the ground and open to space. Place both feet flat on the floor. Feel gravity holding you, not pulling you down, but anchoring you into presence. Take a slow, deep breath. Let it fill your torso, your ribs, your belly, and release. Nothing needs to be achieved here. Nothing needs to be fixed, only noticed. You were never taught this, but most of your exhaustion does not come from life. It comes from the constant internal narration about life. A voice has been running inside you for as long as you can remember. It comments, judges, predicts. Replays the past, simulates the future, and over time it convinced you of something dangerous, that it is who you are. But listen carefully. If you can hear a voice, it cannot be you. Awareness always precedes content. The observer always exists before what is observed. This is not philosophy. This is direct mechanics of consciousness. Let us look with precision. Reality itself is neutral. A message is sent, or it is not. Someone responds, or they don't. A sound happens, a look happens. These are raw events, but immediately the mind begins its work. They don't respect me. I failed again. This always happens to me. My future is ruined. One neutral fact becomes a story. The story becomes meaning. Meaning becomes identity. Identity becomes suffering. This is how pain is manufactured. Not by reality, by interpretation. Notice something subtle now. You did not choose your last thought. It appeared. You will not choose your next thought either. It will appear. For most of your life, you were inside this river, swimming, fighting, trying to control the current, calling this struggle my life. Now step out. Feel yourself on the riverbank. Solid ground, quiet ground. Thoughts still flow. Memories from years ago. Fears about tomorrow. Mental arguments. Rehearsed explanations. But you are no longer inside them. You are watching. This is the observer position. And from here, nothing needs to be solved. The mind will resist this. It will say, "This thought is important. You must think about this now. If you don't worry, something bad will happen." This is not intelligence. This is conditioning trying to survive. The false identity exists only through engagement. When attention is withdrawn, it weakens. When observation replaces reaction, you reclaim energy. Let these land slowly. I am not my thoughts. Thoughts appear within me. I am not my emotions. Emotions move through me. I am the space in which experience unfolds. I am the observer behind identity. I remain while everything else changes. Do not repeat these as affirmations. Recognize them as facts. Now something subtle. Between one thought and the next, there is a pause, a gap. Tiny, almost imperceptible, but real. Wait for it. Do not chase the next thought. Watch the space before it. That space is not empty. It is awareness itself. This is quiet, natural, unforced. With each breath, let the gap widen. Not by effort, by interest. Become fascinated with stillness instead of content. This is where perspective shifts. This is where the mind settles without command. Remain exactly where you are. Do not move toward silence. Do not try to hold it. Let silence notice itself. Because silence is not created. It is revealed when effort collapses. Right now, your nervous system is receiving a signal it rarely encounters. A signal without demand, without urgency, without narrative. This is not relaxation. This is settling. And when the system settles, patterns lose coherence. Most of your life, you believed control was necessary. Control your thoughts, control your emotions, control your future, control your image. But control itself is generated by fear. Fear of uncertainty, fear of dissolution, fear of losing identity. Now observe carefully. In this moment of quiet, what exactly needs control? Nothing is attacking you. Nothing is missing. Nothing is unresolved. Yet the mind learned to stay active even in safety. This is conditioning. And conditioning dissolves in awareness. You were not tired because life was heavy. You were tired because resistance was constant. Resisting thoughts, resisting emotions, resisting uncertainty. This resistance burns energy. Silence restores it. Notice how the body responds when mental pressure loosens. The jaw softens, the shoulders drop, the breath deepens without instruction. This is not imagination. This is physiology responding to coherence. Now, allow an image to form naturally. Imagine a simple control interface within your awareness, not symbolic, functional, a clean panel. On it, a single switch. Mental engagement on, off. This switch has always existed. You have simply never shown it. For most of your life, it remained locked in on. Thoughts running continuously, stories generating themselves, identity reinforcing itself. Now, reach toward the switch. Slowly, with no force. Flip it to off. Notice. Thoughts do not disappear instantly. They lose authority. They move to the background. Like distant static. You are still aware, still present, still here. Nothing collapses. Nothing breaks. Reality remains intact without commentary. This is important. Because the mind told you silence was dangerous. It lied. Now, flip the switch briefly back to on. Notice how thoughts return. But something is different. You are watching them arise. You are not inside them. You now know. Engagement is optional. This is sovereignty. Flip the switch back to off and remain. Let these land slowly. Not as affirmations, as operational truths. I do not need to comment on what happens to exist. I do not need to judge experience to survive. My mind is a tool, not an authority. I engage when needed. I disengage when not. I choose awareness over narrative. I choose presence over prediction. Silence is not empty. Silence is full. I am not becoming quiet. I am remembering what was never noisy. As engagement drops, energy returns. Mental noise consumes enormous resources. When it quiets, those resources redistribute. Circulation improves. Breath deepens. The nervous system exits alert mode. This is why silence feels expansive. Because contraction ends. Your field stabilizes. Your perception sharpens. Reality becomes clearer not because it changed, but because distortion faded. Notice something subtle now. Without constant thought, who are you? Not your name, not your history, not your roles. Those require narrative. But this presence remains. Stable, observing, unmoved. This is identity without story. This is observer consciousness. And from here, life becomes direct again. This is why quiet is powerful. Not because it feels good, but because it removes what was never real. Stay. We are completing integration. Silence does not mean withdrawal. It means clarity. You will still think, still plan. Still decide. But thinking becomes intentional. When noise returns, and it will, you will not fight it. You will step back. Riverbank, observer. Perspective restored. Every return to observation weakens conditioning. Every disengagement strengthens awareness. This is training, and training compounds. The ego will try one last move. It will say, I understand this. I've got it now. I'm enlightened. Smile when that happens, because recognition is not ownership. Understanding is still a thought. Return to observation. Silence does not need validation. Now allow everything to settle. No effort, no technique. Just presence resting in itself. Quiet, stable, clear. This is not a state you must maintain. It is a reference point you now recognize. And once recognized, it cannot be unknown. I am NeuroQuantumMind. This transmission is complete. Remain as awareness. Let life move. and return to the observer whenever noise appears. Settle.